I'm going to show you how I smoke pork belly burnt ends on my pellet grill. This recipe is easy to follow and guarantees that you're going to be a hero at the next cookout. Let's ask my neighbor's friend what he thinks.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I just walked in this garage, I didn't even know what this was. Tastes amazing. Can I get another?
Yeah, go for it. I always start out my videos by wiping off the factory juices off of the meat. Then we need to cut up our pork belly. I like to use 2 fingers as my measurement. But you're going to cut strips down the entire pork belly at this length. These burnt ends are going to shrink a lot when they cook because they're practically half fat. So cutting them at this size ensures that we're going to have some nice bite-sized chunks when we're done. So after we have all of our strips of pork belly, then I'm going to cut them into cubes, again using 2 fingers as my measurement, and we're going to do this for the entire pork belly. And it's important to note that the pork belly I'm using does not have skin. If you go to Costco or Sam's Club, they sell these in big huge racks that are skinless. If you go to some other smaller stores, they might sell you the ones that are skin on, and those are really good for those Asian style recipes where you fry them or get that skin really crispy. But for today's video, we want it skinless. For our seasoning today, we're using my honey barbecue rub. What I like to do is load up an entire sheet pan full of my pork belly, and then I just go ahead and dump on a ton of seasoning. Then I take my hand and I just stir around all of these little pork belly cubes, and I go ahead and I dump on seasoning again, and then mix it again with my hands, go ahead, dump a little bit more on, then mix it again with my hands, and I do this until I can pick up a cube, take a look at it, and see that all the sides are coated really nice. I find this to be the easiest method rather than just picking up each individual cube and seasoning it. That takes a long time and I feel like you waste a lot of rub. Then we're going to place them onto a greased wire rack. This is going to help us with our transfer when we go onto our smoker and then off of our smoker again. If you don't use one of these wire racks, when we go to braise later on in the video, you're going to have to pick up 80 little tiny hot pork belly burnt ends off of your smoker. Your lid's going to be open for 3 minutes. Your temp's going to climb a lot. So using one of these saves a lot of headache. If you're doing a whole entire slab of these, you're going to need about 2 or 3 racks. Also, we want to make sure that we let these sweat out for about 15 to 30 minutes before we put them on the smoker. Letting it sweat out simply means that we are going to let the season adhere to the meat. The salts in this rub are going to draw up moisture to the surface of the pork belly, which is going to allow it to suck in more smoke. So while it's sweating out, this is a great time to preheat our smoker. I'm using my Z-Grills pellet grill today, and I'm using some leftover cherry pellets. And I'll be doing this entire smoke at 250 degrees. Once our smoker's holding 250 nice and steady, we're going to go ahead and load up our pork belly into the smoker. Let it sit in that smoke bath, and we're going to put it to bed. My pork belly likes to take a nap for about a good 2.5 hours. And as you see, it's looking like we have developed a really nice crusty exterior on these pork belly burnt ends. These look absolutely delicious. Now it's time to get them tender. Take the belly out of the smoker, then we're going to carefully move it into one of our half pans. Feel free to get creative here and make this your own dish. For me today, I'm using just brown sugar and honey because I really love that sweet and sticky flavor on pork. But feel free to make this spicy, a little bit more fatty by putting in butter. Do whatever you really want here. Then we're going to cover our half pan with aluminum foil, and back into the smoker it goes in that 250 degree heat. This is going to create a nice steamy environment in that half pan, which is going to braise our pork belly burnt ends. They are going to get nice and tender. We want to keep them in there until they reach about 208 degrees. For me, that took just a little bit over an hour. These have so much fat in them though. I've let these go all the way up to 212, 214 on accident before, and they still turn out absolutely incredible. We are not done here yet though. We're going to bring them back inside, and we're going to get all of our pork belly burnt ends into a new clean half pan. Then we're going to coat these pork belly burnt ends with some barbecue sauce. Today we are using my Texas Peach. This is going to act as a nice finishing glaze. Let these hang out in the smoker for about a good 15 minutes until you see that barbecue sauce kind of evaporating. You can let it go for about a good 30 minutes or so. We just want to make sure that we're nice and caramelized and looking shiny. Make sure that they look like this, and then let them rest for about a good 15 minutes or so. While I let them rest, I like to get some nice good B-roll shots for you guys, and then we are ready to eat. What's up, you guys? It is my favorite part of the video. These delicious, tender, juicy, smoky pork belly burnt ends are finally done. We are ready to dig in. Before we do, I want to do a quick recap of what it was that we did today to get these delicious, tender little bites. I cubed up this pork belly about 2 fingers thick and then about 2 fingers wide. I seasoned them all in my honey barbecue rub, and then I got them on a wire rack. I let them sweat out for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then I got my Z-Grills pellet grill grill fired up to 250 degrees using some cherry pellets. Once it was preheated, I put the racks of the pork belly burnt ends right on the smoker. Then we shut it down for about 2.5 hours. At that point, we got 2 half pans, put our pork belly burnt ends in them with a couple handfuls of brown sugar and honey. I wrapped them up in aluminum foil and I got them back out on the smoker for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. Then we came back in the garage and I got them in 2 new half pans, and I used half a bottle each of my Texas peach barbecue sauce. I got them all sticky and glazy, and then I put them back out on the smoker for like 15 to 20 minutes or so. Now, when most people make these, they go ahead and put the barbecue sauce in with that brown sugar and that honey mixture. Some people use butter in there. These things are so fatty, I don't really think you need to use butter. But I did get the idea to do this double pan method to where you do the brown sugar and honey by itself, then barbecue sauce later. I did get that from Malcolm Reed. I watched one of his videos a long time ago, and it's just kind of stuck with me ever since, and I like doing it that way. So kudos to you, Malcolm. I really like this recipe. I like how it turns out. Now today we did use my honey barbecue rub and my Texas peach barbecue sauce, which I have never used before on these pork belly burnt ends, so I'm extremely excited to see how they turned out. So I'm gonna go ahead. This little guy right here is calling my name. Yeah, that little guy right there is calling my name. It got all black and charred. Look at that delicious little bite. That is some sticky, gooey, charry little barbecue right there. Let's go ahead and peel it apart. You see the insides. Gosh, that looks so beautiful. Well, nothing left to do. Let's go ahead and take a little bite. Oh my gosh. This literally has to be one of the best flavors I have ever tasted. When I put those racks in there, the little pieces at the top and the bottom of my smoker got really extra charred up, and so it really gives it that super crispy outside flavor that I really love on my pork belly, and then the inside is super tender, moist, it falls apart. And one of my neighbor's friends just walked outside, so I'm gonna have him take a little bite and see what he says. Go ahead, grab one of these right here. The ones that are a little bit crispier, a little crispier bacon.
That's good.
Yeah.
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 Damn.
Yeah.
Smoke these?
Yeah, I smoked them.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I just walked in this garage, I didn't even know what this was. Tastes amazing. Can I get another?
Yeah, go for it. The flavor of that honey barbecue, that brown sugar, that honey that I put on there gives it that really sweet, sticky flavor. But the honey barbecue rub does have some salt in it, so it's that great balance of that savoriness, that sweetness. And then the Texas peach barbecue sauce really gives it that sweet, sticky afterbite. I absolutely love this recipe. My passion in life is to make amazing food and to share it with my friends and my family and to teach you guys how to do the same thing in your house. So it'd mean the world to me if you made this recipe for your friends and for your family. Share it with them. Let me know how it goes down in the comments below. And if you found value out of this video, do me a favor, hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel. I'm putting out a new video every single Friday. If you want to watch another great video from my channel, you can go ahead and click this one right here. And as always, I'll see you in next week's video. Peace.